Friends, do you know why blind people wear black glasses? And do you know why a thin layer forms on fresh tea when it gets cold? Or why two small holes are always made on USB cables? We see these things every single day, but very few of us know the true reasons behind them. That's exactly what I'm going to share with you today. Get ready, because what you're about to discover will completely change the way you look at these ordinary objects. Let's begin with USB cables and flash drives. If you look closely at any USB plug, you'll notice two tiny rectangular holes on the metal part. Most people think they are useless or maybe just part of the design. But in reality, they play an important role. First, these holes allow small metal locks inside the port to snap into place, which keeps the USB firmly connected so it doesn't slip out. Without them, your USB could easily loosen or disconnect. Second, during the manufacturing process, these holes help keep the connector in the right position when plastic is molded around it. So they are both a safety lock and a production aid. Imagine how frustrating it would be if USBs kept falling out. Those little holes prevent that problem. Now let's move to tea and milk. Tea lovers must have noticed that when tea cools down, a thin tag-like layer forms on top. The same happens with boiled milk. It develops a thick creamy layer called malai. Why does this happen? It's because milk contains proteins like casein and whey. When heated and then cooled, these proteins bond together and trap fat molecules, forming that creamy skin. In tea, when milk is mixed in, the same reaction occurs. The interesting part is that most of the fat and nutrients concentrate in this layer. That's why in many cultures, people actually enjoy eating malai, while others remove it because of the texture. Either way, it's nature's way of separating fats and proteins from liquid. Now, let's talk about blind people and their black glasses. At first, it might seem unnecessary because they can't see, so why wear glasses? But the truth is deeper. Not every blind person is fully blind. Some may have partial vision or extreme light sensitivity. Their eyes often cannot handle bright sunlight, which can cause pain, irritation, or even further damage. Black glasses help reduce this sensitivity by blocking excess light. They also protect eyes from dust, wind, and injury. There's another reason too: social comfort. Black glasses cover the eyes, which might otherwise look unfocused or damaged, and this helps blind people feel more confident in public. So the glasses are not just a symbol, they are both a medical necessity and a source of dignity. Next, strainers. Almost every kitchen has them, especially for tea. But have you ever wondered why they have those special curved shapes? First, the hook-like design allows them to hang easily in the kitchen. Second, when placed on a cup, the strainer rests securely instead of falling inside. And during manufacturing, the curved design makes sure the thin wire mesh doesn't break when pressed into a round shape by machines. So the design is practical at 3 levels: storage, use, and production. Without this design, the strainer would break more often and be very inconvenient to use. Now, let's look at water bottles. If you pick up any 500 milliliters plastic bottle, you'll notice patterns of ridges or lines. At first glance, you might think they're just there for decoration, but in reality, they provide grip and prevent slipping. Imagine drinking water on a hot day with sweaty hands. Without those ridges, the smooth bottle would fall again and again. Also, the patterns help the bottle withstand pressure. When the liquid expands or when bottles are stacked, the ridges give strength to the thin plastic walls. So those simple lines are the reason bottles can be light, cheap, and still durable. Face cream tubes are another interesting example. Look at the bottom of any tube, you'll see crimped lines. People often assume it's just a company design, but in truth, those lines are created during the sealing process. After filling the tube with cream, the open end is heated and pressed together by a machine. The pressure leaves those ridges, which lock the tube closed so the cream doesn't leak. If you've ever pressed a nearly empty tube, you'll notice how strong that seal is. Without those crimped lines, the tube would burst easily. Now think about pens. Some ballpoint pens have rubber grips where you hold them. Many think it's just for looks, but it has a very practical purpose. The rubber provides friction, making it easier to hold the pen for long writing sessions. It prevents fingers from slipping and reduces strain. If you compare a cheap pen with no grip to a branded one with rubber, you'll feel the difference immediately. That small feature can make studying or writing much more comfortable. Water tanks are something you'll find on every rooftop. Most of them are black in color. Now black usually absorbs heat, so why are tanks black? The secret is that black prevents sunlight from penetrating and stops algae from growing inside the tank. Some tanks also have a protective coating on the inside to reduce heat transfer. This way, water stays clean and safe for longer. If tanks were transparent or light-colored, algae would grow quickly due to sunlight exposure, making the water unsafe. So black tanks are not just about durability, they are about hygiene and health. Now let's talk about motion sickness, vomiting during travel. Many people suffer from it, but few know the real reason. When you sit inside a moving bus or car, your eyes see the interior of the vehicle, which appears still. But your inner ear, which controls balance, senses movement. The brain receives conflicting signals. Eyes say you're not moving, ears say you are moving. This confusion causes the brain to panic, and the stomach reacts by creating nausea and vomiting. That's why one common solution is to look outside the window. Your eyes then see motion, which matches your ear's signals, reducing sickness. Masks became a part of daily life during the coronavirus pandemic. You must have noticed that some masks have small round filters. These are not just decorations. The filters allow air to move more freely, making it easier to breathe while still blocking harmful particles. Wearing a normal cloth mask for long periods can feel suffocating, but masks with filters stay comfortable, which is why people prefer them in professional settings or during long hours of use. Finally, let's talk about fresh juice. When you prepare juice in a machine, there's always foam on top. This foam forms because the fast-spinning blades of the juicer mix air into the liquid. The trapped air creates bubbles, which appear as foam. It doesn't mean the juice is bad. In fact, it shows the machine worked at high speed. Some people stir the foam back in, while others remove it, but either way, it's harmless. Friends, isn't it amazing how ordinary things hide such extraordinary secrets? From the tiny holes in USBs to the ridges on bottles, from the black tanks on rooftops to the foam on juice, everything has a reason, a purpose, and a hidden science behind it. Next time you notice them, you'll see them not as simple objects, but as clever designs that make our lives easier. Friends, I hope you learned a lot from this video. For more amazing content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get notifications of new uploads. Don't forget to like and share this video. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.